So I have done some research on this, and I've listened to Martin Taylor, and I've listened to Howard Paul, and I listened to Frank Vignola, and I've watched some videos, and nobody pronounces your last name the same way. How do you pronounce your last name?
Right. My name is Ulf Wakenius.
Wakenius.
Yeah. I can tell you, Oscar Peterson didn't get it right in 10 years.
Well, you know, the guy that I think you're the closest to is probably Martin Taylor.
Yeah.
And I heard the way he introduced you in January.
Yeah.
He says Wakenius, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you say so. You say it's Wakenius.
Wakenius is the correct, but I mean, Martin has his own, what should I say, Scottish twist on it.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, anyway, this is Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar Today, and we are here with Ulf Wakenius, and he's in Sweden, and I'm in Atlanta. You're an amazing guy. I mean, you know, you play with Ray Brown. Obviously, you play with Oscar for 10 years. You took Joe Pass's place.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of your videos over the years. I've seen a lot of your videos most recently because I'd like to, you know, brush myself up on all that. You're an incredible guitar player, if not one of the world's all-timers. I mean, you really are. And I mean, Ray frickin' Brown. I mean, you know, that's amazing. But you also play with Dennis Chambers.
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, so can you see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah, I see exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you know, first of all, you know, I'm a very fortunate guy. You know, I mean, as you say, you know, I was in the right place at the right time, you know, and that's of course not the whole story, but you know, in the business, one thing leads to another, you know. Sure. So I was playing with a Dane with a never-ending name, Nils Henning Ørsted Peterson, N-H-O-P, you know.
Right.
He opened many doors, you know, for me.
Yeah, you know, people can research you like crazy. I mean, you know, there's a ton of stuff on the internet about your bio, you know, your education, if you will, who you've played with, where you've been, your discography, all of that. So what I want to know, and what we try to tell our people is, what are you doing today? What's going on with you? What's happening in your world? How are you dealing with COVID? What kind of projects are you into? I see you play with your son a lot.
Yes. And okay, so I can tell you directly what I did, you know. I took the time, and here comes a plug. I did this one, you know.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I wrote the book, you know, a guitar. And it's called Oscar Peterson Licks for Jazz Guitar.
I love that.
So I'm very, very happy about this. So, I mean, because usually I wouldn't have time to do this one, you know.
Is that brand new?
Brand new. It's on Amazon, you know.
We got a scoop. I love it. That's incredible.
Yeah.
If you got a guitar there in front of you, you got a guitar nearby?
Yeah.
Show me a lick.
Okay, man.
Yeah, show me what people can expect.
Okay, so I start to say, hello, Paul.
Oh, hello, Howard, yes.
Hello, Howard. I like. So, yeah, let me see. So, yeah, I mean...
And if you buy the book, you'll be able to do that next week, right?
Exactly, man. So, no, but it's, you know, I did the book, you know, it's a lot of riffs, you know, because Oscar is both simplicity and advanced, you know. So it's a lot of, you know, stuff like that also.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal. What time is it over there? What are you, about 6 hours ahead of us?
Exactly. It's 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock afternoon. So you're all wound up and ready to go. What guitar have you got there?
This is actually, the story about this is I was at the NAMM show, you know, a couple of years ago, and Howard Paul was there, you know, and the Benedetto guys, you know, and I tried this, and Howard just said, "You want it?" Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I loved it, you know.
It sounds great. It's obviously you're comfortable with it, and looks great. And
Yes.
so, which model is that?
It's Benedetto Bambino.
It's the Bambino.
Bambino, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to travel with, you know, and it's you know, it's a very nice sound, you know. And,
sounds great. It's very obviously they build their guitars for working. They build all kinds, but they definitely build guitars for working, gigging, traveling musicians because you got to deal with humidity and airlines and
exactly.
Guitars are.
I love Benedetto's. You know, it's fantastic guitar. You know.
Yeah, they'll be happy to hear you say that. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
So you finished a new book,
right?
And I think a lot of people are going to be digging that, and that's available on Amazon.
Exactly. So it's actually I just repeat it. It's Oscar Peterson Licks for jazz guitar, and you find it very easily on Amazon.
Sure. I might have to grab a copy of that. I want to play some of those licks you just
fantastic, man. Just want to add, excuse me, but it's on Fundamental Changes is the company. It's English.
Okay. All right. And how long did it take you to put that together?
It took me maybe 3 weeks, a month or something, you know, and I worked with them, you know, and it was, I have to say, it was through Martin Taylor, you know, he set me up with those cats, you know. They're fantastic, you know, and he did a bunch of books there too, you know. So.
I love Martin. He was a cover story for us about a year ago, and I mean, I love Martin. I love his playing. I love the way you two guys play together, actually, because you're both so melodic in your approach. And
thank you.
You know, these days everybody can rip it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to you know, you hear strong melodies and you know, that nuance, you can't beat that.
No.
So I guess I didn't really think of this as an Oscar Peterson kind of thing, but a few weeks ago I had Robin Ford, John Schofield, and Mike Stern on in separate times, and we talked about Miles Davis.
Wow.
Well, I got you, and Joe, rest in peace, is no longer with us. So let me ask you this question: what was it like to work with Oscar frickin' Peterson?
No, I mean, it was a dream come true, of course, you know, because I went to the concert house in Gothenburg, my home city in Sweden, you know,
right.
and I saw Oscar with Joe and NHOP, you know, the trio, and I was blown away, you know, of course, you know, and I followed Oscar for all years, you know, and then I got the request, you know, through NHOP, you know, to join his quartet, you know, because he had heard me with 2 records I did with Ray Brown, you know. I mean, for me, it was the greatest honor on, you know, you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere to go from there, to be honest with you.
No, and I have to be honest, it was a high pressure gig, of course, you know, because at that level, I mean, even if it was late in Oscar's life, there was still, you know, the level and you know, the intensity of standing on the stage with him, you know, was, you know.
And he always played to sold out crowds and, you know, big
dream, you know. I can tell you a little anecdote, which is fantastic, you know, which shows what a man he was, you know. We played at Hollywood Bowl, Los Angeles, sold out, you know, and I had a pretty okay first set, you know.
Right.
And Oscar is passing me on the stage, and he looked at me. I get your next set, motherfucker. And he was like almost 80, and I said, I love this cat. You know, I mean, give it up.
Oh, that's classic.
That's fantastic.
I get you next set. Well, let me ask you. You know, we you know, there's always a discussion about comping and piano players and guitar players, even though the piano is a much broader instrument in terms of low frequencies to high frequencies. Obviously, the middle is where the melody is and the comping and all this. So did you guys ever have discussions about how to play together, staying out of each other's way or anything like that? Or did you ever talk about that? Or how did you guys weave those two instruments that a lot of people feel fight with each other together? How did that work?
You know, I think we never discussed music, you know. I just came and we played, and it kind of, I always quote Jim Hall, and when they ask him, how do you consider yourself as a jazz musician? And he say, I'm a good listener.
Wow.
So what I did, I knew this, of course, the classic one, stay out, stay away from, interfering in the
Sure.
voice, and everything, So I kind of, I knew that when I joined the group, so, and I was, using my ears, where to play and not to play, and that's how it worked, We didn't discuss so much music, we just played,
Just played.
Like all the old cast, they just played,
You know what? I've been doing this now. We've been doing this magazine for about 2.5 years, and I've had the good fortune to talk to a lot of prestigious players, like yourself and colleagues, and the names.
Yeah.
And they all basically, the higher up the rung they go, that's the answer I hear.
Yeah.
It's just, you just got to listen and just got, and the guys that listen and know what works,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Let me, here's something that I think that people don't really understand. 10 years you worked with Oscar Peterson.
Yeah.
All right, let's say the greatest pianist of his generation, sold out Hollywood Bowl, sold out everywhere. I mean, and I mean, it just freaking amazing. But, he could have replaced you at any time.
Yeah.
So you had to be good.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like you get the gig and you're in forever if you don't deliver. So what people need to understand about that is that you delivered the goods every night on the stage for 10 years. And that's why you kept that gig. Not because you got the gig and now I'm going to go retire in place, is what we used to say around here,
Right.
You had to stay sharp. And Oscar wasn't anybody to lay on his laurels. He was always doing new stuff. I mean, he was obviously a very inventive guy.
Yeah.
With amazing capability. So that says, not that people need to say more about you, but that says more about you and the fact that you were there with him for that long and you kept the gig. Pretty freaking amazing. So let's talk about you and your son playing. Are you guys still doing a lot of that?
Yeah, I mean, now, I mean, it's not much playing now during the pandemic, but I mean, we try to play as often as we can, and it's a very, I think that is the only thing that would be comparable to playing with Oscar, is to have your own son on the stage. It's very heartfelt, and
yes, well, it shows too. It's a really touching thing because obviously you both play at a very, very high level. I'm
enjoying it tremendously much, so of course, it's great, It's great.
That's really good. Well, what pre-COVID, and I'm going to ask you just a few more questions, but pre-COVID and all of that, what was the jazz scene like in Sweden? I mean, were there gigs there, or were you just always traveling to play?
No, I mean, it's gigs in Sweden also, and quite a bunch of them, But as you understand, my touring circuit has become international because of Oscar,
Oh, of course.
You get connections, and so I'm pretty, touring the world, usually, that's what I'm doing, so.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add to this? And we definitely want to get you back for a cover, if you will. That would be our honor to have you, probably in the spring.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And when that'll be a good time because things will hopefully will start to loosen up a little bit and people will be back to doing stuff and all of that. Well, I want to remind people that that you've got the new book.
Right.
Show that again if you don't mind.
Here it is.
You got the new book, and they can find that on Amazon. And your website to find out more about you is what?
It is ulfwakenius.net.
.net. .net. Okay. All right. Well, then they can find it there and they can learn about you. And now, do you teach?
I'm teaching, but I mean, I'm on Patreon now,
Okay.
So you find me there, because I don't have this, since my schedule was so dense before, I didn't teach, because I was traveling all the time,
One more question. So what is your favorite music to play? Like if you're gonna, if you're sitting there and you want to play, this is a concert for you. You're the guy in the audience.
Yeah.
And you're coming to see you play. I always say that all the time. People laugh at me. They say, "What do you feel like doing?" I say, "I want to go hear me play because I like what I do." So you're in the audience.
Yeah.
And you're gonna play for you.
Yeah.
What do you like to play? What's your favorite stuff to do? And that could be like today.
Yeah, but I have grown into, you know, and maybe that's age, but I just simply love jazz ballads on guitar.
Oh man.
Melodies, you know.
Yep.
Because they carry eternity, you know. I mean, you can pick any standard, you know. And I mean, now I'm rehearsing time after time with my son, you know.
Wow.
I mean, it kills me, you know. That's what I love, you know.
Yeah. Do you happen, and I should know this, and I'm apologizing that I don't. Have you ever done Waltz for Debbie?
I have done it way back. It's fantastic, you know. I don't have it in my hands now, but I mean, I love it, of course, you know.
I've spent, and now we're talking about me, and of course, this isn't about me, it's about you, but I've spent the last year and a half or 2 years working on that tune.
Oh, that's one of them.
I just love that melody.
Oh,
I love Bill Evans.
Oh, everything he does.
Yeah, I love Bill Evans. I can relate to him, you know, in the way that his harmonies moved and all of that.
Yeah.
Oscar is so far above my brain. It's hard for me to, you know, it's hard for me to even think like that, which is why your book is so interesting. But I wondered if you'd ever approached Waltz for Debbie, because that you talk about, to me, that's maybe the
genius, one
of the greatest. You can't really call it a standard because nobody likes to play it because it's so difficult. You know?
Right. Yeah, and you have to keep it up. You know, I knew it years ago, but I don't know it now. You know, but I love it. You know, I mean, it's.
Well, let me make that as a suggestion for you and your son. If you got nothing to do, I'll buy the first recording.
Ah, fantastic.
That would be great. Well, thank you, Ulf. I've got nothing more unless you got something else you'd like to add.
It's just great to talk to you, and love to do the thing in the spring, you know.
Well, it's a pleasure. You're one of the greats of all time.
Thank you.
You know, just to let you know how I feel, your playing is amazing.
Thank you.
The fact that you played with Oscar for all those years and kept the gig, like I already said, is just, you know, I mean, that just speaks. Not volumes, it speaks libraries, you know, about your playing and your commitment, your tone, the whole 9 yards. So we're honored to have you, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye.
Can I just take a photo for you say hello to my Facebook friends? And
yes, I will. This is Bob Bakert from Jazz Guitar Today.
Yeah. Great, man. Thank you so much, and we stay in touch.
Thank you very much, Ulf.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Bye.
Great. Bye-bye.